guide to investing in the Web3 revolution in Dubai.
Well, hello, Sigma. It's a pleasure to be with you today. My name is Gustavo Montero. I'm the founder of Chairman and Carter Capital, based in Dubai. I'll tell you a bit about myself afterwards, but we have a fantastic panel, and I'd like you guys to introduce yourselves from the left, starting by Alex.
Salam alaikum, Habibis! How are you guys today? Doing well? Can I get a thumbs up? Still awake? Kinda? My name is Alex Fazel. I'm the Chief Partnership Officer at SwissBorg. We're a wealth management platform with over 1.1 million users out of Europe, and we are community-centric driven and are all about the community.
Hello, everyone. Salam alaikum wa alaikum salam also. My name is Feras Sadek. I'm the managing partner of Ghaf Capital Partners, and we are a private investment firm that focuses on investing in early stage companies that are built on the blockchain.
Hi, everybody. My name is Danilo. I'm somehow not on the picture there, but so I'm not Adrian. But nice to see you here. I'm based in Dubai from Morningstar Ventures. And yeah, proprietary investment fund here, specifically focusing on digital assets. Been in crypto for a long time. I love to see the energy in the city.
All right, that's great. So as I said, I'm Gustavo Montero. I'm the founder, chairman of Carter Capital. We manage crypto assets for clients, wallets. We're non-custodial. And we tokenize real-world assets. We're currently tokenizing a gold mine in Chile. And we're tokenizing Amazonian trees and Amazonian land in the Amazonas. That's my part of it. So we're going to talk about Web3 revolution in Dubai. By the way, I don't think there's anything particular to Dubai. There are many other places, except that this place is great and I live here. But when it comes to the subjects, it's really global. So I'd like to start maybe by Adrian. And if you can give us an idea of what sort of business problems and processes can blockchain address within the enterprise? What can we solve with this? Adrian, anybody else want to pick it up? What can we solve with this?
There is no Adrian on the panel. There is no Adrian on the panel. It's a mistake, yeah. Who wants to go first?
You want to go, Alex?
The use cases you're talking about?
Yeah, and I said what specific business problems and processes can blockchain address within the enterprise? What are we solving?
So I think it's one core problem, which is trust, right? Wherever there's a lack of trust, and that's why we call Bitcoin a trustless protocol, that's where you need something that's not biased, that doesn't have the greed that human beings actually evoke. So anything that's lacking trust, that demands transparency, decentralization as tools to reaching that trust, so we have a trustless protocol, is ultimately the core use case of Web3.
Yes, maybe I can add another point to that. Privacy and security, of course. There's a lot of use cases in which you can protect your privacy, improve security, and these two are one of the key fundamentals for enterprise level.
Danilo, that's the right name.
Yes, just one thing to add, which always gets me excited. When I talk about Dubai to people who are not in Dubai yet, I take the example of the Dubai police app, which actually uses blockchain technology to secure our documentation and our visas and everything we have here as inhabitants of this country. So yeah, there is lots of applications that are still yet to be implemented. One that I think is quite interesting is also ticketing. So I look forward when all our airplane tickets will actually be NFTs. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of applications, but that's one I'm specifically excited about.
So we have Adrian back in. Adrian, hello. You're not Swiss, you're not on time.
Good morning.
Right. So Adrian, why don't you introduce yourself to the public and tell us who you are?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Adrian Niculescu. Sorry for being late. There are things happening in the investment space like in life. I'm a Romanian entrepreneur and investor, proudly based in Dubai. And I have about 7.5 years in blockchain, and I try everything I can to invest responsibly and ethically. Happy to be here.
Great, Adrian, thank you. So this time we'll start from Danilo's side. So let's say that you all set up, you chose your blockchain, you're going to do something in your company. The question is, we're all global. Our businesses are all global. Is it scalable? Can you take blockchain and scale this thing globally and go everywhere with the same business?
What's the question?
That's the question. Is blockchain scalable?
Well, on a technical level, yes. On a people level, in terms of distributed teams, investments, and just overall, like being a participator of this ecosystem, I find it very scalable from the point that there is more and more people coming in. There is no threshold. I think many new industries are going to be disrupted by this technology, so there is definitely a lot of room to grow. So it is definitely scalable. And it's also very, borderless, international. And so that's also what impacts scalability, is the fact that, we're here to grow and we're here to stay, so for sure.
Right. Feras?
Yeah, definitely. The key fundament of blockchain is scalability and access to everyone. But there are a few things that will impact this and support it to actually achieve its target, which is number one, education, and educating people on how to use it, why to use it, where to use it. And the second, or the other point would be is regulation. If we have regulation and regulators start educating the general public on what the use cases are and how to use it and what so, this will allow us to scale at a lot faster pace.
Perfect. Alexander, so is your blockchain scalable?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And talking about scalability, guys, I think that from the investment standpoint, it's very important for us to not be too smart. Sometimes you got to be a little bit stupid. Like both sides of the spectrum is you can be a fundamentalist and really think, does this scale in terms of people? Does it scale in terms of socials? Does it scale in terms of revenues, right? But at the same time, from the investment perspective, if you're too smart and thinking too much, then you're not taking action. And I read a quote this morning, which I thought was very, very smart from the investment standpoint, is if you are too smart or you're trying to be too good, then you're not good for your own good. And the reason why is because there's lots of speculation in this industry, right? A lot of the projects, if you look in the top 100, are almost purely speculative. Very few actually fundamentally make revenues that will be able to pay for devs, pay for the miners, and pay for their engineers to scale. So scalability on the business side is still very limited. I'll ask a question here. Who here owns the Link token? Chainlink. Now, out of the 7, 8 people, how many people are actually using the Link token to extract data to help you on-chain? Be very honest. 0. You see that? And the reason why, maybe 1 person. So the reason why we need to really think of this on a long spectrum of fundamentalists, yes, I want to invest in business that scale, but also I don't want to be too smart for my boots to not invest in what's hot in speculation, because people invest with the conviction that in the future, hopefully will scale or solve major problems. So make sure as an investor that you're on both sides of the spectrum, because if you're too smart and too stiff and lacking flexibility, you won't do well as an investor.
Very good. Adrian, what's your view on scalability of blockchain?
Before discussing about the scalability of the teams and on the technology, we have to talk about the scalability of education. Because no matter where you are coming from, no matter the age, the formal education and something else, blockchain offers an opportunity for everybody to advance and to educate. It's about inclusion. It's about not the color of the skin, not any labels from the current world. And once we understand that, and once we are in the room like that, so to learn, and even to, as you said, to make fun of ourselves because we don't understand more, we don't know more, or also for me to look bad that I was late, so it's about that, Once you overcome these things and you start learning, you understand that with blockchain, you can build something scalable all over the world. But you need to overcome these elements. which are holding us back most of the times.
All right, another issue that we all have, I have it particularly, I was the CEO of Standard Chartered in Switzerland, a bank. Just a normal standard bank here, nothing special about it. I was using systems in my bank, and then now, for the last few years, I'm in the Web3 space. Different space, very different space than traditional banking. So the question really is, starting from Danilo, is how compatible is blockchain as a solution to the systems and protocols we already use in industry, right? So we use blockchain now to look at these systems we have. Some of them were already there. Say, take a bank and transform it into a Web3 bank. You have to deal with issues. Danilo?
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely, as we briefly touched upon before, use cases that have already been leveraged and have already understood. If you look at decentralized finance, the disruption of the freedom of money, banking system, all of that has been, taking, interest and adoption already the last few years. And then I think there is other use cases which are still, at the very beginning. One that we are particularly interested in at Morningstar Ventures is gaming. And I think gaming is still very much on an early stage of adoption, but I see a huge potential for gaming. If we have kids these days, we can see all they're doing is play video games, and they are automatically educated by each other on how to own digital assets and how to leverage decentralization. They just don't know they're using blockchain yet. So I think that's something that's going to be increasing more and more. So gaming is definitely one of those use cases.
Feras, how do we use blockchain for standard industries?
Yeah, so there's a lot of use cases, right? For the blockchain, you can derive it with so many different industries. It can support so many different sectors of the industries and what. So each industry or sector would have its own use case of the blockchain. I'll give you an example. So there could be, or there is even right now, people working on loyalty programs that can tap into so many different industries. And not only that, also data storage for important and super confidential documents that needs to be stored on chain and for a very long time. So it depends on the industry that you're looking at. It depends on your target audience. Are you targeting the retail? Are you targeting general consumers? Are you targeting governments? So the use cases are unlimited, and depending on the focus, it could do that.
Yeah, perfect. Alexander, what's your view on systems, blockchain systems, traditional industry systems? Are they compatible?
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to say, Danilo, thank you so much, because thanks to this gentleman here that we actually got into VC investing. So you're a true legend, and also Ghaf Capital for us. You guys are really the most innovative thinkers in this region. I'm very proud to be on the panel with both of you. I want to join Danilo and compliment on what he's saying about gamify. So I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I can see how important it is, the collectible side of things. And actually, who here knows Counter-Strike? It's a first-person shooter. So there are some of these items where they sell particular in-game items like skins at over $40,000, $50,000, where they have to give you your password to go and access this particular skin just to play with it, right? NFTs solve that problem. Fortnite, guys, who here knows Fortnite? Fortnite had roughly 50 million concurrent users at the same second. That is Binance, Coinbase, MetaMask, plus a multiple at the same second. It's very difficult to hit these numbers. So I think gamify, as Danilo is saying, is, I mean, you look at on-chain, right, Adapt Radar, all of the top 6 most used monthly active or daily active wallet addresses are all games, right? So that's very, very simple. But then I think, like, we invested in seeded IGAN layer, and I think the restaking layer is something, though, although it may be a little more risky in terms of sharing this collective security and restaking, I think the fact that you can take your money, kind of like rehypothecation, where you can put it somewhere else and provide an extra layer of security and compound on your interest, is something that you don't see in TradFi, for instance, right? You can't do that in traditional finance. And I think we really need to build cases or use cases that TradFi, Wall Street do not have,
Absolutely.
rather than RWAs, which is great for accelerating, but it's not innovating. So that's.
I fully agree. You want to add something? Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add one point to what Alex said. Speaking of speculation, so 2 summers ago we had seen DeFi summer. Usually summer is not good for crypto. People go to vacation, tokens have a struggle. We're betting on GameFi summer. So we hope this is the year for gaming.
Absolutely.
A bit of alpha.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Adrian, your view of compatibility of blockchain with traditional systems?
I believe that one of the biggest opportunities right now is at the intersection between them. As you have, for example, crypto cards. They are Visa and MasterCard, right? So still, after so many years of blockchain, you can't go with your Bitcoin wallet here at the supermarket to buy bread, correct? So we have to look at that. Also, because we are in an investor panel, what do the investors want? They want return on investment, right? So every project should be run as a business somehow, respecting the business principles. Even if we are looking at a decentralized world, we are still at the beginning of decentralization. So I believe the biggest opportunity is at the intersection between those, looking at the basic of the business principles. Even I highly recommend every blockchain founder to read, let's say, The Art of Making Money by P.T. Barnum, which is an old book, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. These are books read by all the billionaires, I believe. So when you have such a knowledge, you will understand what you have to go next. Because there is so much noise about the technology, about other things, but still, decentralization is a myth. It doesn't exist. As it's more on a marketing, it's a hyped world. We are at the beginning of this thing.
Absolutely.
Can I just jump in on what you said, Adrian? So you said you're from Romania.
Yes.
Actually, our one of the best investments we've ever made was a project out of Romania, Elrond, which became Multiverse X.
Yes,
I met them in the middle of the bear market at undervalued valuation of 10 million back in 2019. They reached over $1 billion FDV. The point is that, yes, as you're saying, like, the speculative approach is also very important to the nature, because investors and holders, or the people that buy before the market, after the market, they are influenced by awareness. And the best marketing, the best awareness happens when the token goes up. That's when there is free marketing. So there is a certain balance between how you manage your token and how you spread the awareness. But the beauty also of this tokenization concept is that startups can come out of anywhere, no matter who's behind them, no matter who they are, and through their token, they can get a lot of awareness. If I remember, 5-6 years ago, you said you're from Chile. I'm sure you know Startup Chile, which was a huge incubator out of South America that brought so many people to Chile. I thought that was awesome, and that was kind of, I can see some references of how that community allowed entrepreneurs to flourish, no matter who they are. And I think tokenization is doing the same again with us now.
100% with you on that. Effectively, I was born in Chile. I spent all my life in Switzerland, but I am from Chile, the north of Chile, Antofagasta. That's where the European Space Agency has telescopes. That's where I was born, which looks just like Dubai, by the way. So as you've seen, I've asked you many open-ended questions, because the Web3 revolution is common to the world. We're all facing the same problems. However, there's one problem that is different in every country, which is the regulatory environment. So I'm not asking you to give sort of a lecture on the regulatory environment, but I'd like to know from you, how do you see the regulatory environment in the UAE? What's good about it? What's bad about it? And what needs to be done? Maybe with Adrian?
First, I would advise every investor to learn about the regulatory environment here, because it's, how to say, us as an entrepreneurs, we can learn a lot from it. Because regularly you will see...
Adrian, sorry to interrupt you. You have to go to quick answers. We have very little time.
I could speak for days. This is my problem. So first, I would advise every investor to look at DMCC's website, to look at Vara's website, to subscribe to their notifications to learn about what's happening in the industry. And I believe I'm too small to have an opinion about what is bad about it, because there's too much good about it.
Alexander.
So who here is investing for their first time in their first altcoin cycle? Can I see your hands? Second altcoin cycle, can I see your hands? Third altcoin cycle, since the beginning, see your hands. I want to give you one last takeaway that I think is really important. There are 3 core metrics for you to make money in this cycle and to maximize your ROI. And 2 of them are based on how long it will last and how high we will go. And the third one is Bitcoin dominance. So if you guys really understand your own risk appetite, whether you're conservative, moderate, or aggressive, first understand your risk appetite. But second, understand that the cycles, the euphoria stage, the summer of actual altcoin cycles, lasts 9 months in the first cycle, 12 months in the last cycle, and now it will probably be between 12 to 15 months. So as soon as we start going parabolic, think to yourself, you have 1 year. Second part, total market capitalization across the entire industry. We peaked at $3 trillion. We'll probably reach anywhere between 6 to 9 trillion. Some people say 10 trillion, which I think is overly aggressive. And the third part, Bitcoin dominance. Once liquidity trickles down and Bitcoin dominance goes down to the 30 to 25%, where the liquidity is all the way down, don't forget to go back up, because it will go back up. So look at these 3 core metrics and figures, and you'll do really well and make a lot of money.
Feras, your best 10 seconds answer.
Yeah. So we're talking about the regulators.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So one, very quickly, one key aspect that I notice about the regulators over here and what they're doing is regulation by education. And they're supporting the community, and they're meeting the community to understand, learn themselves, so that they can better advise, secure retail investors, professional investors, and the community in general.
Great.
Very quickly, I hope Alex is right. I'm a bit more bearish or a bit more conservative there. I don't know how long the cycle will be, right? But on the regulatory side, I just had a portfolio company out of France that asked me to move to Dubai, and it had to be done quickly. And the one regulator they ended up going with was RACDAO. And the main reason was because it was time sensitive. So I also think that's something to consider, and have a look at RACDAO as well.
I'll finish myself on that, because that's what I live every day. Said I'm an asset manager. And while the UAE has fantastic regulation, they've absolutely pointed into the right direction. I was myself an advisor to ESCA on a personal basis, not on a company basis, for a while in the past. But the issue here, the central issue, is that we still don't have in this country crypto fiat, fiat crypto done by banks. In my country, in Switzerland, we have several banks that are doing that. And I believe that that's the difference between Dubai and the UAE being a great place for Web3 or the top of the world. When this place allowed banks to go crypto fiat, fiat crypto to anybody in the room, then this goes ballistic. Thank you very much for everything.